It's a very good afternoon here in Harare's capital, Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. Welcome to ZTN News Blitz. Let's take a look at our top stories. Zimbabwe doctors sue government over protective gear. Business and government at odds over multi-currency reintroduction. Calls for Boris Johnson to cede power as he fights coronavirus. Chigova says football can wait until COVID-19 recedes. Zimbabwe's doctors have taken government to court to compel authorities to expedite the provision of personal protective equipment for all health workers. The doctors also want government to intensify COVID-19 testing during the 21-day lockdown as per World Health Organization guidelines. Presently, the world over, medical personnel are faced with the same problem. In Zimbabwe, tertiary institutions have embarked on a program to produce some of the required equipment, such as face masks, latex gloves and hand sanitizers. The Southern African country has so far recorded 9 positive cases of COVID-19, including 1 death. Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights Secretary General Dr. Norman Matara spoke to ZTN.
The issue of personal protective equipment for health workers, both in government and in private practice. The government has got that obligation to make sure that health workers are protected from this infection. We have seen from other countries, approximately 14 to 20% of all the infections are due to health workers getting infected. So we need to protect our health workers because they are on the front line. These are the frontline soldiers who are battling this infection. So we need adequate protection for them. Even those in private are actually being affected because some people, when they get sick, they just attend to private surgeries, to accident and emergency hospitals and centers. So government should make sure that all those people, also the people who are on the front line who are screening them, they have access to personal protective equipment.
Businesses in Zimbabwe are worried by government's decision to reintroduce the multi-currency regime. Government reintroduced use of multi-currency to all citizens with free funds to trade. ZTN spoke to Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Officer Christopher Mugaga, who expressed reservations about the latest move.
You're making a mistake of thinking that the challenges of the economy are to do with an exchange rate. I think it's sending a wrong signal already. So I think it calls us back to the discussion on a central bank, which is too big for this economy. When you say a central bank is too big, the role it is playing, especially in a market where currency, it's a very volatile, it's a very emotive subject. It's something which is uncalled for. So the catatonic policy uncertainty we continue experiencing in this country is continuing acting as a tax. Even if COVID is to end, the next question is to what extent are the rational decision makers and players in the market expected to switch to a monocurrency overnight?
Finance Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube says the move is meant to assist business and the transacting public.
If not some policy shift, is again a need to introduce flexibility in the system. And the reform agenda is very clear, very consistent about this. But we see this as a way to give citizens relief in the shops.
A quick survey of Harare's deserted central business district shows that a number of water pipes are dysfunctional, resulting in gallons of treated water going to waste. This is an irony as most suburbs in the capital now rely on boreholes as they do not have running water. Although this is not a new phenomenon, one wonders why the city fathers are not utilizing the 21-day lockdown to address the issue. A tour by ZTN last week showed that some of the capital's roads are now death traps, as council workers are in the habit of abandoning open pits, even in the middle of roads. But authorities have a different narrative. They believe they are doing their best under the circumstances. Council spokesperson Michael Chideme spoke to ZTN.
We are actually doing exactly that. We are repairing all the broken or the best pipes in Harare. Today our workmen were in Mbare, in Highfield. They are in somewhere here in Belgravia. They are fixing all broken down pipes that include water and wastewater. So we are taking advantage of the lockdown to attend to some of those essential areas. The reason why we have blockages is also because the usage in some of the areas is low. For example, in the CBD or in areas abounding the CBD, because probably people are not using as much water as they would use any other day. But we are attending to the best pipes.
Nigeria's Doctors Association has criticized a government plan to bring 18 Chinese doctors into the country to help fight the coronavirus. The Nigerian Medical Association said it would be better to make use of the many unemployed or underemployed medical personnel already in the country. It also said the Chinese doctors would not be familiar with the culture or challenges of working in Nigeria. On Saturday, the government said the doctors had been invited to share their experience on how the pandemic had been handled in China, and denied that they were coming to take charge of the fight against the virus. Coronavirus hit Boris Johnson is having checks in hospital today amid calls to hand over the reins of the UK's fight against the disease while he recovers. The Prime Minister was dramatically admitted to St. Thomas's near Downing Street last night after doctors became concerned his symptoms have still not subsided after 10 days of his positive test. Mr. Johnson is thought to have been given oxygen treatment, with claims he had risked his health by keeping up a frantic work rate. U.S. President Donald Trump led well wishes for Johnson's recovery.
Express our nation's well wishes to Prime Minister Boris Johnson as he wages his own personal fight with the virus. All Americans are praying for him. He's a friend of mine. He's a great gentleman and a great leader. And he's, as you know, he was brought to the hospital today. But I'm hopeful and sure that he's going to be fine. He's a strong man, strong person.
With COVID-19 putting all sporting activities across the world on pause, Zimbabwe international goalkeeper George Chigova reckons there are times when the famous statement that football is bigger than both life and death does not hold true. Legendary former Liverpool coach Bill Shankly once famously quipped, "Some people think football is a matter of life and death. I assure you it's much more serious than that." But Polokwane's City #1, Chigova, insists that football is not the most pressing matter in the world right now.
As players, we are not able to do what we love most, which is playing soccer because of this coronavirus. We would love to be in the field of play, but for us at the moment, what's important is the health of all the people around the world. So for us, soccer can wait. And also use this time to connect with the families. My kids are even surprised that why are we spending time at home, because most of the time we are used to being in camp and traveling and stuff. So I urge all Zimbabweans to stay home, stay safe, adhere with the guidelines, follow the rules, so that we can stop the spread of this pandemic.
And that's all from us on ZTN News Blitz. Thanks for watching, but follow us for more news on ztn.co.zw.